that tribal site so you can find a good girl. Musically challenged idiot. Stupid goat.
Nothing to lose if that's what I do. Whenever I don't have my own freedom.
Africans, mostly Nigerians, were Crips.
African Americans think that we think that we're better than y'all.
People said that they were rude and kind of insensitive.
The men are kind of abusive and controlling to their women, and that stay away.
Black people are not valuing family and the fatherless. You know, like if you marry a black man, he will leave you.
My mom always said, you know, no white boys, no Africans, because Africans are going to take you to their home country and make you have a lot of babies and never bring you back.
My parents always told my brothers never to date a black girl, especially if she had a child, because the woman would make their life miserable.
They sold us into slavery. You can't trust them to a degree.
African Americans don't understand that the Africans that sold them into slavery had no idea what slavery was going to look like in America.
Do you identify with being black? If you do or do not, can you explain why?
Do y'all call it black as a negative term? Because it just comes off, I'm going to be honest, it comes off as, well, I'm African. I don't want to be called black because
but that's what you're hearing though.
No. Yeah, let me just finish.
I'm African and I definitely identify with being black. Whenever I get pulled over and you know, and they ask me for my name, I'll be like, Oburuke Yumachi. You know, that don't mean nothing to them. You know, they take me out.
Chief. They want to know.
You know, they take me out. They treat me the same way. You know what I mean? And when I'm with my other friends, they treat me the same way also. But I feel like that I do identify with being black because that's who I am. Like when I meet any of y'all in the street or whatever, that's how y'all gonna see me, and that's how we're gonna greet each other until we get into all this. Oh, what's your name mean and all that kind of stuff. Stuff that don't matter.
I mean, I identify as being Nigerian, right? But because I live in America, it's forced upon me to be identified as being black. And so what I feel like a lot of black people kind of throw it on us that we're supposed to know this like black history culture, and it's like we don't, right? Because all we know is what was taught to us in school.
African Americans like have decided to like be comfortable with this whole like I'm black thing. And like I remember, and now let me say, now I identify as black, right? But I only do that because like I got annoyed of black people not wanting to identify as African, and like I really just want to be on the same page because like that's what we need. But like I always ask black people, I'm like, what is black?
Where do these stereotypes come from? Some have said like experiences that you may have encountered when you were younger, or your parents have told you things, but where else might these stereotypes like be reinforced and forced upon us?
When we first got here, generally for Africans, we realized that under like white people, they view Africans and African Americans as the same. So we kind of felt like, okay, we're still the underdog because we speak a different language and we're from a different place. So we kind of felt like we had to kind of separate ourselves to kind of get anywhere. And with that, we used school.
It's kind of coming off what she said, and her parents coming over here. I would think for myself, coming into like a nation where you see people that look just like you, to a degree, me and Boosie look alike. But you see, no, I'm serious. I'm talking about in the big scheme of things. Right. So you see people that are all pretty much the same, except you identify differently. Right. So you have this mentality that since you're culturally, I guess you could say intact to like your history, and you know where your names come from. Right. Yeah, you know all of this kind of stuff. That makes you better than that. That's the issue. To a degree, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not fair to make a judgment off of one person. Right. But what people do is when you first meet an African or an African American, and say you have a bad experience with them, the African may have been aggressive towards you. But what they're going to do is take that one experience and make it a generalization, and that's how it becomes a stereotype.
But us is always chasing. So you guys.
We were chasing too, and we never stopped chasing.
But you already knew what you wanted. You knew that you wanted education. You knew that education was the key.
Right.
From birth to death. It's never about education. It's about
I want a big house. It's not about how to get there. It's never the steps of how to get there have never been presented. It's only the end game. You left to fend for yourself to figure out everything in between.
We don't actually understand the life that we have to live because we're here. Y'all got that good understanding that I need to have this. We never
that's
got
not true
that.
for everybody.
That's not true. Because y'all say that we had the opportunity, like I said before. If the opportunity is right here, I still can't grab it because I'm always getting told that it's not for me. So if you keep on telling me it's not for me, so I'm gonna believe
you
it.
accept it.
And I think that's the main thing that's been ingrained in all of our systems. You being African, like even with the different tribes in Nigeria, like why is that? There's so much dividance, and that's brought upon what we've been through. That was brought upon slavery. We were even slaves in our own country.
Africans think, post-slavery it's just like, arguments here and there. Like maybe they know about lynching a little bit like that, but like they have no idea about stories like Black Wall Street. They have no idea about like redlining for real. Like they really start with like predatory loans, right? And like they're just now learning this. Our generation is really like first generation learning about like student loans, right? Because like the thought process of our parents is like, you come here, you get through college without getting shot, like you're on your way to being a millionaire.
Moving forward, how can we or what can we do as millennials to set up future generations or even currently our own selves to better understand each other and also think about how it's affecting each of our communities economically?
I feel like there's this emptiness in like who they are as they're growing up. Like even if it's fake, like I feel like white people, the best thing white people do is like they'll all commit to a lie. Like we discovered America. Y'all with that shit? All right. So like literally like a bunch of white people were in a room one day. We're like, look, we're gonna write down this history book. We discovered America. All right. When we raise our kids, we're gonna tell them that that's gonna be something that their kids are prideful about. They're gonna take, even if it doesn't mean anything. Like that's why it's like even if Ikechi doesn't actually mean power of God, like who the fuck cares? I think my name means power of God. I think I'm live as fuck. Day one.
And making sure that you guys have each other's backs and making sure that there's no divide and saying like, I got you, like we won. There's no division. Just.
I don't know if anybody's in the Urban League or anything like that, but me too. So I think we should maybe start a group of sorts because it's so. I know that my heritage is like actually Nigerian. I'm African American. And I found that Yoruba tribe, like so I have that experience. But I think that we should kind of get together and like start maybe a group where it is young millennials, like you like an old African American adage is my skin folk. Everybody who is my skin folk ain't my kinfolk or whatever it is. So we should have like group think tanks such as this to kind of like, let me know what your food is, or you don't know about cornbread and macaroni and cheese. Got you. You feel me? Like we should have more opportunities to do that.
Black people need to holler at their African friends and be like, next time you go home, like I want to make that trip with you. I think that's low key. Like I think that people don't understand what it really feels like when you're in an environment amongst people that look just like you all day, every day. Like I don't even think y'all know what that feels like. And like white people have such an edge because like they walk around, they see themselves like this is the norm, this feels good.
Right. At the end of the day, to a white person, we're all the same.
Right.
At the end of the day, to the white person, we're all the same. So being split by color, culture, is no difference.
Right here and talk about they, but they do want you to succeed.
Who are you saying they? Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. So to define the they are the owners, right?
Yeah.
Because the only thing in the world more valuable than money, at least in our society, the way human interaction is now, is influence. It's the only thing more valuable.
Find a way to break the chains and just run away. No time to waste, liberate, free yourself from that dark place. Sunny rays and brighter days, forever here to stay. See the star, the questions are to remain or make a change. Find a way to break the chains and just run away. No time to waste, liberate, free yourself from that dark place. Sunny rays and brighter days, forever here to stay.